will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
As an example, think about the apostate-driven lies and dishonesties that Jehovah's organization is permissive toward pedophiles. I mean, that is ridiculous, isn't it? If anybody takes action against someone who would threaten our young ones and takes action to protect our young ones, it's Jehovah's organization.
Good morning, everybody.
Howdy.
We've missed you all, but we've been busy at work. I've had a video project I've been working on. I finally figured out, well, I actually got a new video program, so it's like I can insert videos in another video now. So I've been working on redoing the ASL ones that Shyla did. So hopefully those will be better for the hearing and the deaf. So, so many things going on. Welcome to all our new subscribers. And I have been neglecting messages and emails, so I will try to work on getting those done this weekend. What's with the look?
I'm just.
Did you say hi?
Hi. I thought it. Hello. I think I did.
Or did I start rambling?
Well, you know, we've been up 3 consecutive nights, way past this old man's bedtime, hoping to catch the Dateline program about Jehovah's Witnesses and the.
I know, we can't think straight.
Conspiracy of silence, and of course, you know, up till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, then having to get up at 5 o'clock to go to work. I think they call that sleep deprivation.
So you'll have to excuse us if,
yeah.
Oh, I better not do that, you know, because those mentally disturbed people who are doing videos about those of us of the XJW community, and I wanted to mention LA Gamer, the preaching apostate, I hope they don't chase you away permanently. Don't let them win. You know, these are mentally disturbed people who have nothing better to do than to fight against those who are trying to fight against Watchtower.
Well, they're just trolls, aren't they? They're just literally trolls. And my recommendation is if they're using one of your videos inappropriately, do what we did.
Copyright them.
Copyright them.
Yep.
You complain to YouTube. Because the one gal, what's her name? I forget what her YouTube channel. I know for a fact she's already got 1 copyright strike from us.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind if anybody uses our videos, as long as they keep them within the content that they were designed for. I mean,
and respect
my God,
us.
you know, when I go out a camera shot and that woman says, "See, this is the all-seeing eye."
Oh, and they're pointing.
No, you know that nonsense. Just file a copyright strike. Once they get 3, they're gone.
Yeah. So our video was taken down, and LA Gamer, Preaching Apostate, Mark and Cora, anyone else that they've done these, you know, videos against.
I think they even did one against Dallas, Canada, didn't they? If I remember right.
Yeah.
Sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
But anywho.
And also for the mentally disturbed person who keeps trying to hack into our website, stop it. Leave us alone. You know, 30, 40, 50 attempts a day. Get a life.
Obviously, you've got way too much time on your hand, pal.
Oh, my God. It's hours at night. You know, usually starts about 6 o'clock at night. So, and I've been tracking IP addresses. But just get a life. You know, you're mentally disturbed. Get a life. So now that we're good and riled, oh my goodness, we were able to record the Nightline report, and if we get a copyright strike, this is worth it.
But we're not going to show the whole entire thing. We'll put a link to the entire episode, but we're just going to pull some clips from this, maybe from a perspective that not everybody will really, you know, catch. So well, at least that's what I'm going to do. I don't have a clue what you're going to do.
Kimmy's too tired to know what she's doing and have a clue. And what makes it bad is we can't take a nap because we're actually almost on our way to the city, you know, for doctor's appointments. So it's like, wow. No rest for the weary, I guess.
And of course, you know, I've been, you know, rereading the Bible again, and I've come across something that's very interesting. In fact, I've got some notes that I'm going to end up doing one or two more videos that hopefully for the community will be encouraging, and you know, it's things that we never really think to look at, things we don't ever consider investigating, but that's going to come later. But I do have some scriptures I want to share with this particular video.
Yeah, and we're so tired we forgot to mention we put Let's clip at the beginning of this because we think that he was trying to do damage control, because apparently they knew this Nightline report was going to be coming out.
Didn't I mention that in the video? Yeah. When Let first gave this talk, you know, and here I was thinking about what the apostates were doing on YouTube, and now, you know, a week or two later, we understand what's happening. Is it, as far as I'm concerned, when Let get up there and made that thing about the apostate-driven lies that Watchtower hides pedophiles or protects them, that was damage control, as far as I'm concerned, based with the upcoming ABC Nightline.
Yeah. And in case I have forgotten to thank everybody who has sent us clips and links, and the person that had sent us the movie production studio, I can't pronounce their first name on the Facebook. It's like Z or X. Anyway, thank you everyone for sending your clips and everything. And I know sometimes I forget to thank you all. But yeah, this is just disturbing. So let's show our first clip from the Nightline.
Meet the young woman taking on a wealthy and secretive church, screaming out for somebody to come protect me.
Not reveal the confidential talk of another. The members of the North Fremont Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses abhor child abuse of any form.
In court, attorneys for the church argued that it's not the responsibility of a religious organization to protect children from sexual abuse by other congregation members.
The Jehovah's Witnesses are not a youth group.
You know, then they wonder why lawyers have bad reputations.
Well, you know, obviously we can't show the whole clip without getting a copyright strike, so we're going to try to put the link to the whole program, because we did, you know, capture it off of a television set. But, you know, it's really amazing how things work out, because 5 days ago, at lunch, I was reading my Bible at lunch, and I came across a scripture, and it's like, oh my God.
How appropriate.
It's like, oh my God. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to read it from the New World Translation, because being one of Jehovah's Witnesses, you've read the scripture maybe once, maybe twice if you were lucky. But, you know, they don't focus on this scripture like they do other scriptures.
Well, plus they word it to where...
Well, that's the thing. Luke 11:46. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to read the whole context. I'm just going to kind of tell you the context. You go to verse 37. When he had spoken this, a Pharisee requested him to dine with him. So he went, Christ went in and reclined at the table. However, the Pharisee was surprised at seeing that he did not first wash before the dinner. So Christ got invited to a meal with a Pharisee, and now the Pharisee's going to start, you know, asking Christ why he didn't follow the letter of the law. And this whole setting ensues to where Christ begins to condemn the Pharisees. And we're all familiar with what Christ did, but there's someone else at this table that Watchtower won't focus on, and that when you're a Jehovah's Witness, you don't mentally make that connection. I'm going to drop down to verse 45, because, you know, after he condemns the Pharisees, you know, because, you know, they love the prominent seats in the synagogues and all of this, you know, crap that Pharisees or Watchtower elders or circuit overseers or the governing body does. But in verse 45, now this, I'm going to read this first from the New World Translation, because when you're a Jehovah's Witness, you don't make the absolute connection, because it's worded so differently than other translations that you don't see the importance of it. Verse 45, in answer, a certain one of those versed in the law said to him, versed in the law. The New International Version uses the word lawyer. Versed in the law. But I'm actually going to read it from the second time from the Complete Jewish Bible, and it says those versed in the Torah, which is still the law, but the New International Version says lawyer. So in answer, a certain one of those versed in the law said to him, Teacher, in saying these things, you also insult us. Remember, Christ was insulting the Pharisees because they put this whole facade about how righteous they are. So now this lawyer says, well, when you condemn the Pharisees, you condemn us. You insult us.
Yeah.
And then Christ said to them, Woe also to you who are versed in the law, a.k.a. lawyers, because you load men with loads hard to be borne, but you yourselves do not touch the loads with one of your fingers. Well, you really don't get the sense of condemnation when you read it from the New World Translation. You don't lift a finger. Okay? So I want to read the same verse from the Complete Jewish Bible, Luke 11:46. Well, I'm going to go back to 45. One of the experts in Torah answered him, Rabbi, by saying these things you are insulting us also. Yeshua said, Woe to you Torah experts too. You load people down with burdens they can hardly bear, and you won't lift a finger to help them. And isn't that exactly what we are seeing now with the Watchtower and Babel Crap Society? They're going to these courts of law fighting for Watchtower's rights, but yet they don't lift a goddamn finger to help the victims. And that's exactly why Christ is condemning them the way he does the religious leaders in his lifetime, because they're not helping the victims. They're only trying to protect Watchtower. Hey, Watchtower, you're not the victim.
Well, what's interesting about McCabe here, what he says, is it's not up to the congregation and elders to protect the children.
Really?
Isn't that a controversy or
contradiction?
Contradiction to what Let just said in the clip we show you?
If anybody helps the victims or the...
And that's why I love Candace Conte's face when she turns and looks at her mom. It's like, can you believe this crap?
Yeah.
It was like, yeah.
Watchtower, your days are absolutely numbered because you cannot survive the internet age. You just can't do it. Now, keep in mind, it wasn't too terribly long ago that the secret elders training videos were leaked, and you all saw the setting. You've got all of the elders in one congregation, and the elder that's supposed to take the lead said, now Robbie has confessed to an act of fornication. You broke the confidence right there. In those little secret rooms, you break the confidences.
And in child abuse cases, the minute you call headquarters legal department,
confidence is broken. So when this lawyer gets up there and talks about, protecting the confidential talk, the guy's an absolute liar in a court of law.
Yeah.
Absolute liar.
So now we have a clip in this report where they have depositions from the elders that were in Candace Conte's. Yeah.
So let's just show the clip and see
what
the elder says. The elders know what's happening.
This is going to make you mad.
All right, sir, if you'll please raise your right hand.
When Candace and her attorney began conducting depositions with local church leaders, known as elders, they learned something astonishing.
Do you recall becoming aware at any time of sexual abuse of a child by Jonathan Kendrick?
Yes.
Even before Candace was abused, the elders knew that Jonathan Kendrick, who then held a leadership position in the congregation, had molested his own stepdaughter, his first known victim.
He confessed to touching her one evening when he came home.
And yet the elders did not call the police and did not warn the rest of the congregation.
Did that make you furious?
Yeah, I was disgusted. I was absolutely disgusted. It was more damage control at that point than saving somebody.
What was the reason that the congregation was not notified?
We don't make that public to the congregation. That's confidential.
As an example, think about the apostate-driven lies and dishonesties that Jehovah's organization is permissive toward pedophiles. I mean, that is ridiculous, isn't it? If anybody takes action against someone who would threaten our young ones and takes action to protect our young ones, it's Jehovah's organization.
Okay, now did you notice the one elder, he says, well, the lawyer asked him, were you aware? And the elder says, yes. Well, did you warn the congregation? No, because that breaks confidentiality.
See, now, did you notice when we replayed the Let clip, did you see how they hid behind their own lies? Notice that Let did not say that protect, see, but he cleverly disguised his words by permissive. You're talking two different words, two different meanings. So even though on stage in front of an audience, it appears like Watchtower protects, but they cleverly disguise it with permissive. See?
Big difference.
Big difference here, people. Big, big difference. So, hey, who has the voice of a stranger? The apostates or Watchtower? So let's show the next clip.
In a series of letters to elders across the country on the issue of child abuse, the Watchtower made its policy clear. Though they acknowledge that some states have child abuse reporting laws, they said allegations should otherwise be kept secret to all but church leaders because worldly people are quick to resort to lawsuits if they feel their rights have been violated.
Well, he wants us to be assets, never liabilities toward this. Another indicator, we're willing to forego our so-called personal rights in order to pursue or advance oneness.
We kept an eye on his actions while he was in the congregation.
They also removed Kendrick from his leadership position per Watchtower policy on the grounds of uncleanness.
You see how they manipulate the minds? For the oneness of the organization, we're going to forego our personal rights. And one of those rights is to go to the police when you've been a victim of abuse.
Yeah, and what's interesting how in that elder's letter they even say, you know, it isn't just worldly people that, you know, want to feel their rights have been violated. Witnesses' rights are being violated. And then you got knuckleheads like this, you know, brainwashing or implanting this in witnesses that you don't want any personal rights. You hand it all over. That's what he's saying. Hand all your personal rights over to this organization.
Well, now when you go back and listen to that entire talk of Latin, you know, granted, we took a clip here and we put a clip here and we made it all seem to one. But when you go back and listen to that entire talk, word for word, you can see that that talk was done in a way so that it is a manipulative talk.
Yeah, it's about oneness and unity.
And it's all about control. It's about manipulating the mind. And it's absolutely damage control.
Yeah, and Stephen Let's Talk is on JW Broadcast.
Yeah.
And I don't have a note in front of me. I don't remember what month it was. It was either this month or last month.
Crap, crap, crap. That's all it is.
Yeah. Oh,
so now let's get to the last clip because we got to get to town.
Yeah, we're running late.
Could you please send the police to...
This woman is Kendrick's current wife.
Well, there's newspaper people here trying to get a story.
You may remember that Candace only decided to step forward after learning that Kendrick had abused another child, a crime that landed him in jail for 7 months. That child, Kendrick's third alleged victim, was his wife's 7-year-old granddaughter.
Can we ask you about the case with your granddaughter?
No, you can't.
Why not?
Because it's none of your business. He paid for that crime.
This is the most disturbing part of all.
Yeah, you know, his current wife And his third victim was her 7-year-old granddaughter?
Her 7-year-old granddaughter, and you heard her. He paid for that crime. There was no denial that he abused her granddaughter. But I have a serious question. You know, for the longest time, Watchtower says that those that leave Watchtower and become activists, you know, we're called mentally diseased. Apostates.
Apostates are the mentally diseased.
I seriously have to question this woman's mental stability. Here you have a woman that openly admits that her current husband molested her 7-year-old granddaughter, and yet she still shares the same bed
and
with this piece of crap.
And she's defending him.
Yeah. Yeah,
he paid for that crime.
How does any woman sleep with a man that molested your own grandchild? I don't understand the mental stability of this woman. I don't. They call me mentally diseased, but yet how diseased is this? But see, when you honestly look at the scriptures. The scriptures say at 2 Timothy 3:1-5, in the last days, critical times, hard to deal with. Verse 5, I think it is, says, in no natural affection. You're going to sit here and tell me that this woman has more affection for a child abuser than her own granddaughter? That's the same thing my mother's done to her one and only grandchild. Throw them away like you're a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
It's sick. It's disgusting. Candace Conte, my dear sister, keep moving forward.
And all you other victims, you know, Debbie, and, you know, just so many others.
Yep.
You know, who have been victims of this horrible, horrible organization. And, you know, it's just so disturbing, you know. And the thing is McKendrick says, I never was alone with Candace Conte, you know, I never touched her. Okay, you went to prison for molesting
your third victim.
Your third victim, and you confessed to the first victim. Do you really think we're going to believe you that you didn't touch Candace Conte?
Yeah. They're nothing but a den of thieves and a den of liars.
Yeah, and exactly like what he read, Christ is going to condemn these lawyers and the Pharisees of Watchtower just like he did back when he was on earth.
Yeah. So, anyhow, we got to get going.
We got to get to town.
We hope that everybody can make sense of this, and our hearts and our prayers and our thoughts go out not only to Candace Conte, but also to all of the victims that this wicked satanic cult is hurting. And, you know, to my dying breath, I will do whatever I can to speak out. Because you know what? As long as Watchtower has a den of lawyers that will do everything, twist and manipulate the laws of this land, the United States, to hide behind what they're doing, I'm going to shout as loud as I can. Use YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook, whatever I can, RuTube in Russia, anything we can to expose what this cult is doing to hurt people. Yeah. It's going to get stopped.
And if anybody wants and has the technology, you know, grab this video and keep it in case the copyright strikes against it.
Well, it's going in the beast.
Yeah, it's already on a disc and gone in the beast, and we're going to try to upload it to other video, you know, outlets, so that this can get spread, you know, just in case we get the copyright strike. But we hope ABC doesn't do that on us.
Yeah, please, ABC, understand what we're trying to do here.
We're trying to help you.
Every time there seems to be a news report against Watchtower, we only hear it once. Yeah. We don't get to hear it twice. We don't get to hear follow-ups. You know, if this was a Catholic church that you guys were reporting on, this news broadcast would be run for an entire week. But when it comes to Watchtower, we only hear it one time, and then those of us in the XJW community that want to use your clips to awaken the rest of the world, we get copyright strikes. So we're begging, please please do not put copyright strikes on this video or anyone else, because we're trying to let the public realize, as you said, as one of the lawyers in this clip said, that Saturday morning when a Jehovah Witness man comes knocking at your door and your child opens up the door and a child opens the door, you are potentially putting them in front of a child abuser. Please, please, this has got to get stopped.
And the thing is I'm not bashing ABC, but this is what happens. You know, they hide these reports at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. How many are going to be able to watch this in this country? You know, we would like to see it on the big ones like Good Morning America and, you know, all of these. Yeah. So, you know, let's just try to spread this around as much as possible. And if we could get your guys' help, you know, we'd really appreciate it. You know, like I said, for those who have the capability, grab it, save it, you know, mirror it, you know, plaster it all over forums and everything. And when we get home tonight, we are going to try to, you know, upload the entire report on some kind of outlet to where this can be out to the XJW community. Yeah. So you all have a great day, and we're off running.
Bye.